Alright, I'm getting ready to skate because it's so nice today, but I got a failing bearing on this board. I thought it was a slipped axle, and I actually made a YouTube short about how Thunder trucks are dookie trash. Maybe a bit premature. If you can see that, there's no threads left, so I thought the axle had just pulled through so far that there was no more threads, but I do got a little bit of wiggle room, so I'm leaning more towards the bearing. So I do still kind of stand by what I said. I mean, I like Thunder trucks, they skate really well. I had two sets in the 90s back to back and they slipped axles, and I just didn't buy them again for 30 years. The only reason I bought these is because they came on this $15 quitter complete off of Marketplace. 148 hollow lights. So they got the forged plate, hollow axle, hollow hanger. I mean, hollow kingpin. But somewhere along the way they changed the bolt pattern and the plates. So see, I thought they were too light and I didn't like that. So I swapped plates with some of my 90s Thunder lows that I still had. So these are some cast 6-hole base plates from the 90s with some grind king inverted kingpins. And you can see, I think you can maybe see, you can see the line where the other plates were. So somewhere probably maybe early 2000s or somewhere in the 2000s, Thunder shifted where they drilled their base plates, so it moves the wheelbase in. So they used to be the same like Ventures, or at least the plates were, which is fine. I mean, if they're both deluxe, it wouldn't make much sense to make trucks that were the same as each other, so probably moved them in a little bit to go more for that people who prefer the feel of Indies. Not that they're similar, but they're closer than Ventures. Maybe. At least wheelbase wise. I like the way Venture Highs skate. So, but I have more Indies. So it kind of depends on wheelbase, but I would go Venture, Indy, and if Thunder's even third, it's like a distant third. But they do skate well. They skate well, they grind well, they manual well. My biggest gripe was the axles slipping. So as soon as this wheel stopped turning, that's naturally what I thought it was, and whatever. I'm not taking it down. So yeah, I gotta get that bearing swapped out or see if I could just oil it or whatever. I've got, these wheels are like 30, probably 30-year-old bullet wheels. They skate well, but they are prone to flat spotting. And I do have a few sets of wheels still to try out. I got these Bones X99 54 V5s. Shoutout Colton Bassett. Got these from Colton Bassett. I prefer the V6 to the V5s. These are like 5 mils narrower. But I'm hoping the X99 wears a little bit harder than the X97. Because these are the X97s. They were 56 millimeter V6. And they're just one of these little flat squares. You can see these are 54s. These are like 48s now, I think, in the back. And I got these X95 54 V6 courtesy Robbie Rodriguez. So shout out to those guys for sending me gear. But yeah, I got gloves on because I don't want to get grease on my hands. One of these trucks had a bad bearing, so that's why I swapped out on my other board the 144s for these 139s. These are stage 11 USA made. I don't remember the model, but it's got the praying hands over the bar and cross logo. So yeah, I might just try oiling it first. I'm probably gonna need to change it. I guess there's no harm in trying that. But yeah, if I had any sense, I would just go ahead and change out the whole set of wheels, but I don't really feel like doing all that. And I don't know where my wheel spacers are. I'm sure there's wheel spacers in here because I was making a point to get spacers into all of my setups. Yeah, I was making a point to work the wheel core spacers into all my setups. I got got a bag of like 9 sets of them off of eBay, and I was working them into all my setups, and I probably still had like maybe 4 sets left, and I'm not sure where they got to, but these have spacers in there, so but yeah, I do want to try some of them new sets of wheels. But I'm not really used to riding new gear. You know, try to be frugal and get my money's worth out of stuff. So I ride stuff to death. Like I'll ride my wheels down to like probably 45, 44 millimeters. It depends. I mean, they get to be really slow once they drop below 50. So usually I get like 58 to 60 or 56 to 60 millimeter wheels, and then wear them down. I probably like them best around maybe like 54, 55, but I would never buy a new wheel that size because they just wear down too quickly. So if you get it like a 60 millimeter classic shape, eventually it wears down to like a 54 millimeter radial, which is probably my preferred shape. I like a wider wheel with a rounded edge, and usually the bigger a wheel is, the wider it is. So like 56 to 60 tall, 35 to 40-ish wide with a rounded edge. But yeah, these don't seem terrible, so I'm gonna put a couple drops of oil in there and see if that's enough to get it back and going, because I don't want to rob one out of the other sets and just stick another bad one in its place. And I don't feel like opening up a whole new set of bearings yet, though I do have a couple floating around. That's another thing I got from Colton Bassett, was a set of the Bones Big Balls. I don't know where I stuck them, but yeah, they're in there somewhere. I don't really clean bearings. I probably should. Every once in a while I'll wipe the outer face, but if I'm to the point where I'm changing wheels and taking them out, usually I'll at least wipe off the outer face and put a couple drops of oil in it, just 3 in 1. Oh, maybe that's what it was. There's like a little flap on the inside of that wheel. I don't know if you can really see it. It's like a little flap of urethane that probably was getting caught up in the spacer. That's probably what it was. Yeah, just a little extra booger from the urethane casting. I guess when I put that bearing in, it's slid in, and when I put the spacers in, it was like binding. That's probably all it was. Let's see. Those are all graphics out. That is my back heel side. Well, it spins better, but you can see how, well, I'm trying to get it propped up, but you can see how out of round this is. Maybe you can. I can for sure. But yeah, it's like I was talking about how they flat spot easy. If I do like power slides or endovers or anything like that on the rough asphalt, it just kind of cheese graters them. But on the plus side, if you do get flat spots, they ride out pretty quickly. That shit doesn't even look round. It's like, oh well, whatever. Yeah, I got that other Superior deck with the 14-inch wheelbase with indies, and it's kind of squirrely like that. It's nice for 360 flips, not that I can land them yet anyway. Kind of scared to put both feet on them because I did it accidentally and just shot out. So, but yeah, that one with the Thunders is a 14 1/4 with the old Thunder plates, so they're like Ventures. So that puts the wheelbase out farther. So I think if I switch those, they'd be better. The Indies on the 14 1/4 and the Thunders on the 14. They'd probably pretty much balance out axle to axle. Because the 14 1/4 with Thunders or Ventures is almost like my 14.75 with Indies. And it really makes a difference, but all right, I'm gonna skate for a bit. That's about it.